A massage chair might seem a bit extravagant, especially these days. 8 different settings, adjustable intensity, plus it's heated, and it just feels so good. Yes, a massage chair might seem a bit extravagant, but when it can come with a car, suddenly it seems quite practical. The all-new 2025 Volkswagen Tiguan, packed with premium features like available massaging front seats, it only feels extravagant.
This episode is brought to you by State Farm. Checking off the boxes on your to-do list is a great feeling. And when it comes to checking off coverage, a State Farm agent can help you choose an option that's right for you. Whether you prefer talking in person, on the phone, or using the award-winning app, it's nice knowing you have help finding coverage that best fits your needs. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
War Eagle, and welcome to another edition of Ever to Podcast, the audio show where we get together on a regular basis to catch you up on the latest Auburn news, discussions, scuttlebutt, things that are happening on social media and out and about when you're with the Auburn family, basically to catch you up on the Auburn experience. All about Auburn sports, Auburn culture, Auburn family stuff here. If it's orange and blue, it is what we do. So thank you so much for joining us in what we're going to be doing. Today is episode 60 of Ever to Podcast, and today's date is September 2nd, 2025. I'm your host, as always, Kyle Loomis. We got a lot to catch up on, a little bit of an odd schedule this week with E2C Network content. We'll address that and some things that maybe you think we should be talking a little bit more here, and they were discussed in the latest podcast. But we are going to catch you up on some game week prep stuff for Auburn versus Ball State. We're going to talk a little bit about some things that are gearing up for the year in the AU Bookstore, the band schedule, and maybe if we have some time, other few things like a commit or two. We'll see what we can get in today. As I said, Mondays or Tuesdays, really. Today's a Tuesday because we had a holiday yesterday. Happy Labor Day, everybody, by the way. It's post that time. But anyway, we got a lot to catch up on. So let's start right there. Update on what's been going on. Most of you that follow our content regularly know that we do our main podcast, the Auburn Experience, on Sunday evenings. Austin, the Baylor Bears were so mad about that victory that they had his flight canceled. He did have some plane trouble, so he was unable to get back in time for our regularly scheduled recording time, so we decided to do that on Labor Day in the middle of the day. Some of you caught that, and we appreciate you joining us and being flexible. So that episode getting out a little bit late allowed us to cover a lot of the things that normally we would kind of catch you up here on the show about the men's basketball schedule especially. Might mention it here at the end if we have time, but really a lot of that is covered there. The analysis of the football game, certainly we're excited about the win. All of that is covered in the last episode and plenty of other things as well. So always go check out the Auburn Experience. We also have added another show that's not going to be necessarily on a regular basis, but just whenever he wants to get his thoughts out there. Many of you know AJ Richardson, who has done the No Huddle show, which has been football focused for many years on the show. That show is now ended its time, and he is going to be doing it somewhat of a solo / having guest show focused on Auburn football stories that he's going to be doing when he has the time to, and he's got his latest episode out today, actually. So check that out as well. You got plenty of content. You have no lack of need of content, I guess I should say, here at E2C Network. So that's your update to get you kind of squared away with where we're at in the news stories. Let's start right there. It is another Auburn football week, and we got to get you prepped. As always, we have those press conferences that start off each game week that we want to dive into and get you going about some information to know about. First of all, let's give some congratulations, and much deservedly so, to Jackson Arnold for being named SEC Offensive Player of the Week, and Rayshawn Pleasant for being named SEC Special Teams Player of the Week. Two of the biggest plays, probably the two most important plays, came from each of them, and that would be Rayshawn Pleasant's 98-yard kickoff return, which was outstanding and a huge momentum shift, and a sealing of the victory, essentially, was that gutsy 4th and 1 play by Jackson Arnold that ultimately ended him running for a touchdown untouched. Outstanding play by both of them, and well-deserved in the SEC Player of the Week recognitions that they received. With the press conference yesterday, I just want to give you the gist of it. We always take notes on it and leave that on X if you're ever interested. There's a whole thread of that you can go through. I really think probably the most important thing for people to be aware of is some of the injuries that happened. And there were some, I will call some significant ones out there that I think are important to note. Most of you saw that Amaris Williams went off the field, and it looked kind of bad given how he was going off of the field. But actually, I wasn't even aware of this. He got back on the field after his injury and looks like he has bounced back. So that's the good news, and something that really could have hurt that defensive front that we really didn't need to happen. So happy that he bounced back and was able to even get back in the game. The frustrating news here is that Champ Anthony once again has suffered a major injury. Now, thankfully, it's not to his leg like it was last year, but he has broke a thumb and will miss some time now. Jeremiah Cobb broke a thumb back in fall camp, and it kept him out of a few weeks, a couple weeks, I think, until he was cleared to start practicing again. Now, I don't know how that's going to change with game participation in season for Champ Anthony, but it's just frustrating for a guy who has worked so hard, had a pretty good game against Baylor as well, as a big impact guy guarding somebody in the end zone too. I think it's very frustrating that he is having to deal with that. So we'll miss Champ Anthony once again, but where one guy goes down, the other has an opportunity. There's plenty of room in that safety. And the other thing is, I would say people need to know about from the I'm blanking here, from the press conference, is the fact there's a lot of questions about what about the passing game? And should I be panicking about the passing game? First of all, if you're asking that question, they already have the answer. No, you shouldn't be panicking, worrying about anything. Second of all, you should not be taking any big overarching statements or opinions, forming those narratives around this team off of one singular game. And frankly, I don't think you're going to really have a full enough picture to have some overarching solidified opinions about this until we play that first SEC game. But with that being said, Coach did address some of that, and he said literally the reason you didn't see the pass utilized is because we didn't have to. It's pretty obvious. If the team that is going to try to shut down your passing game, which they did, running two high safeties and just trying to keep everything in front of them, why wouldn't you just run it up the gut? Almost 7 yards per carry at one point. Your quarterback is running just out of his mind, career day for him. Why on earth wouldn't you do that? So it was stated very plainly by Hugh Freeze, and I think it's the most obvious explanation that didn't need to be explained, but hopefully that clears it up for a few of you that may be looking for reasons to be worried. You don't need to be looking for reasons to be worried right now. It's one game. But there's plenty of other things and notes that you can look at on our X account if you want that thread of the press conference notes, and we have the video up on our YouTube channel if you'd like to watch that. All right, some other news. Cool things as we get ready for the first home game. Game week. I'm so excited about this, guys. I can't tell you how excited I am to be back on campus. Today, the Auburn University Bookstore is officially moving back into its original location, or current location of what we've all known it as, underneath the Haley Center. And it has been in the Beard Eves Memorial Coliseum while they've been renovating that. There's been a video put out on some of their social media today seeing the interior of it. If you want to go check it out this weekend, I'd highly recommend you do. As you know, we always try to go get a game day button, but keep in mind, you can get the game day buttons a day early on Fridays with purchases and online orders. With a purchase, but the day after you can just get one for anybody that comes in on a first come, first serve basis, and they go by fast. So if you want one of the game day buttons from the University Bookstore, you got to go there early and get them. We will do that as well because we always love sharing that picture with you on Auburn home game days. Other things to keep aware of is the band is back, folks. We got a new show coming out this week. They put out their schedule usually every week for the home games, and you won't go through this every single time we have a home game, but just some things to note here for you to be familiar with. They always have a game day rehearsal at the Auburn University Marching Band practice field, which is going to be out there almost where the big parking lot is for the students. Well, past, I don't forget where to call it. Maybe if I could pull this up and tell me right here. Beach Street, 312 Beach Street. I always forget the name of that street. If you want to check that out, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. These are all central times, by the way. You'll see them at Tiger Walk, Spirit March, Four Corners Pep Rally right after that. That is one of the coolest things that people sometimes forget about. Right after Tiger Walk, we'll be there. They're going to do their march down into the stadium right after that. Pregame show at 6:16. Kickoff, obviously, and then they got a new halftime show called Inside Out. I'm intrigued if this is based off the movie or just something they're playing off words on, but that's what you can expect from the band this week. Another element that's getting us excited for the first Auburn football home game. Then we got a cool story yesterday with Auburn women's basketball. I know everybody's excited about the men's basketball team and their schedule that just came out, and I think Theirs should be coming around very soon. But exciting news yesterday for Coach Larry Vickers and his staff of getting what is looking like a very big commitment, has a lot of hype around it. A lot of people were talking about it yesterday. A lot of people are listing her as a combo guard. I've seen point guard as well. Zaniyah Williams, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, Zaniyah. She is committed to play for Auburn from the Norfolk, Virginia region. So why is this significant? Obviously, if you know where Coach Larry Vickers came from, Norfolk State, he's obviously got some ties and things up there. That shouldn't surprise you that we be getting some talent from up that way. And that's one of the great things about bringing some staff members or head coaches in from different locations and perspectives. They have connections that they can still work up there. So a big commitment for the 2026 class for Auburn women's basketball is Zaniyah Williams. There's a lot of exciting things. I've heard speedy point guard, all that kind of stuff put around her, and they continue to build the hype towards a schedule release and their season getting going. I know we're just getting started with fall and football, that stuff, but doesn't mean we can't be excited about Auburn women's and men's basketball getting going for their seasons, which will be here, frankly, just before you know it. As always, I want to remind you, if you want us to talk about the men's basketball schedule, that is on the episode this week of the Auburn Experience. Just quickly, the opponents were this: Bethune-Cookman, Merrimack, Wofford, Houston, Jackson State, Oregon, Michigan, a team in Vegas. After that will play as part of that Las Vegas games with Oregon and Michigan, NC State at Arizona, Chattanooga and Atlanta, Indianapolis for Purdue, and then we'll finish up with Queens. That was the non-conference and the last that we needed for the full Auburn men's basketball schedule for 2025-26. That should do it and catch you up on the latest Auburn news as of right now, me recording episode 60. Whew. Get ready, folks. A lot more coming out this week. It's game week. We're going to be home on the loveliest village on the plains. As always, keep up with us. Make sure you drop us a line at e2cnetwork@gmail.com if you'd like to talk to us, suggest a topic, bring up a question, anything like that for any of our content. We might utilize it that way. Social media DMs are open as well for the most part. And something for you to keep in mind, a lot of content on YouTube this week. Tonight, if you're listening to this episode today, we're doing a live stream, I should say, with Clint Richardson of the Auburn Uniform Database, talking about what's new on the football field and the football uniforms that we saw with the first game and first home week coming up, and plenty of other stuff to look forward to. Thanks for hanging out with us today, episode 60. Till we talk to you again. War Eagle.